Hi guys, Kotiko Billionaire here. So these are the 7 lessons I picked from my initial video. Number 1, if you choose to buy a camera, buy one with an articulating touchscreen. This is particularly important because if you want to shoot a talking head video, which is kind of like what you see, you're going to need to see yourself while you're filming yourself, especially if you do not have someone to sit behind or to stand behind the camera. So you're going to need to see yourself while you shoot yourself. Now, an articulating touchscreen simply means a screen that folds to the side of the camera and then can tilt and face you, the shooter of the video. So this will help you and save you a lot of time, especially when you need to have a bokeh video where you are on focus and your background is out of focus. So anytime the camera loses focus, all you'll have to do is just tap the screen and then it will bring you, who is the subject of the video, back into focus. 2, if you choose to buy gear prior to starting your YouTube channel and you have a little more disposable income, do not cheap out. Of course, I do understand that different people have different levels, but if you choose to do so, please do not cheap out. This is particularly a lesson for me because it took me quite some time to release my first video because I decided to go for the cheapest microphone I could find, and it was a very bad microphone. It could not record anything. I had to take it back and they had to upgrade my microphone to what I am currently using. Now, in the near future, I would get better microphones, but for currently I have something that works well for me. It is not the most expensive one, but it works well. The key point to take here, or the key point to take home here, is do not buy the cheapest thing you can find. More often than not, it will not serve you well. 3, use what you have. Start with what you have. Now, my current camera, the Sony a6100 4K, which I spoke about in the previous video, is a very good camera. It works well. However, there is a video that I recorded, the very first one, with my iPhone. It's an iPhone XS Max from, I think it's from 2018. That is a 4-year-old iPhone, and it can shoot 4K and it still does very well. Now, there are still other really incredible phones that can shoot YouTube videos. Start with what you have. You do not need to have very expensive things before you can shoot. This is particularly something that I was trying to figure out, because I've seen it in very many YouTube videos when people say you can start with what you have. So I took it upon myself to do an experiment, shoot a video with an iPhone, then again shoot it with a camera. Of course, you cannot compare a mirrorless or a DSLR camera with a phone, but still the phones shoot really good videos. So start with what you have. 4, editing. Now, when I started out, I wanted to know how to edit videos. This is especially important in post-production, so that you can remove the parts that you feel you did not do very well in. For the people who know me, I am a software engineer. That is my career. And one of the skills, one of the very most important skills, is how to Google things. I brought this skill into YouTube and I find it to be very important. Now, this is the process that I use. You only Google what you need to do. So for instance, after recording this kind of video, what I'll do is that I'll go to my computer and then I'll Google how to cut videos. It is important to mention at this point that I use Davinci Resolve to edit videos. It is a free software and it is really good. The free features are all you need actually. I do not need any of the pro features because at this point I still don't know a lot of what I'm doing. I'm just Googling as I go on. So the most important thing, as I've said, is Google only what you need. So I would go to my computer and Google how to cut videos. I would get a 5-minute tutorial and I would follow that tutorial and cut the parts of the video that I don't need. After that, I would go ahead and Google how to color grade my video, how to improve the colors, improve the saturation and things like that, the brightness. I would get a 5-minute tutorial that teaches me how to do that, and I would follow it while editing a video that I'm going to upload immediately after I finish following that tutorial. The next thing I would do is maybe Google how to clean up my audio, for instance, noise reduction and things like that. This is especially important because it saves you a lot of time. Instead of going and learning how to use Davinci Resolve in its entirety, or whichever editing software you decide to use, you only choose the parts that you need. This way you do not waste several hours learning how to edit videos, whereas you could have spent that time actually shooting videos and using only the parts that you need, for instance, only learning what you need and then uploading that video. This will save you a lot of time, number one, and it will also help you to gain the skill of editing video as you go on. I would comfortably say that at this point I only know how to do 3 things: how to cut videos, how to do very basic color grading, and how to do very basic audio cleaning. And that is all I need at this point to get my videos out there and to get my channel moving. 5, plan every video. I think this is especially important for you to be able to have your talking points before you actually start recording. It will save you a lot of time. Now, this does not mean that you will not make mistakes as you are filming, but it just means that if you do make a mistake, you still have your talking points to refer to, and it is quite easy for you to rectify those mistakes and then remove the parts with mistakes after editing later. If you do not have talking points, if you do not have a script written down, you would end up in a situation where you forget maybe something that you want to talk about, but instead of glancing at it on a written paper or even on your phone, you now have to start thinking or remembering what you wanted to say. This will slow you down incredibly, trust me. I have tested it personally in this video that I'm shooting. Currently, I have my iPhone with me. My wife is behind the camera. She's reading these points, and I'm going to post a short video of behind the scenes so that you see what we were doing prior to recording this video and even the rehearsal. These are the talking points I have for this video, all the 7 of them. They are written down and they are scripted, and I think that if you follow this process, I think you'll be able to produce incredible videos and good quality content even as a beginner. Prioritize. For instance, this is especially important if you choose to buy gear and you are on a tight budget and you have some cash to spend on gear, but you do not have a bottomless wallet, so to speak. You need to prioritize. I'll give you an example. Say for instance you want to shoot vlogging videos and your channel will be about vlogging. You would need to prioritize a camera over audio and lighting, because mostly you'd be shooting maybe outdoors when the sun is at its brightest, and you'd be holding the camera at an arm's length, so you don't really need maybe fancy audio and fancy lights. All you need is a camera. If you're shooting, for instance, and if your channel, for example, is a podcast channel, I think you'd need to prioritize audio over everything else. You could shoot with your phone, but then make sure that your audio is crisp. Personally, for me, I decided to have a little bit of everything. I decided to prioritize on camera and audio because I wanted to shoot talking head videos just like this. What I did not prioritize so much is the lighting, which I will improve as this channel continues to grow. 7, which is last but not least, the most important thing is to start, guys. It does not really matter whether you have a camera, whether you don't have lights, whether you don't have a mic, or you do. Whatever you have, that is what you have at the moment. You need to start. The most important thing is pressing the record button. I think I've seen this being talked about on very, very many platforms, including YouTube itself. If you go and start Googling these kinds of things, you will see people saying that the most important thing is to start. I've seen big channels, for example, a channel like MKBHD and others, where if you see the first videos that they were putting out, I'm telling you guys, I am a beginner, but my video is 1,000,000 times better than what they started with. But right now, if you look at those channels, they're recording with cameras that are worth $40,000 and things like that. So guys, the most important thing is to start, press the record button, get the channel moving, get growing. It does not matter. Shoot the worst video you can ever shoot, but at least get it uploaded. If it gets 2 views, all the same, it is fine. If it gets 10, it is fine. But the most important thing is actually that you have started.
That's it, guys.
That's it, guys. Thank you. Like, follow, share, subscribe.
Hautaki kuangalia?
Ama naweza angalia.
Perfect soul.
Welcome back again, guys. Kotiko Billionaire here. So these are the nisema.
Welcome back again. Yes, unajirudia.
Okay.
You don't have to welcome people back again.
Sawa.
Perfection.
Sawa. Okay. Ya kwanza ni gani? See. Welcome, guys. Kotiko Billionaire here. So these are the 7 lessons.
Why are you welcoming people?
Nimesahau.
Mbona unakaribisha watu?
Okay.